What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As you all can probably tell, our Battlezone looks a little different than the last time you all saw it, but as promised, I wanted to make this restoration video. I just got the 3D printed coin door installed. It was the last thing I had left. It's not quite a perfect fit, but yeah, I wanted to just kind of show you all what I've done to this thing, kind of walk you through the steps that I took, some lessons learned, and just the process I took for this restoration. I think probably the best place for us to start will be the joysticks. That was the first thing that I kind of messed with. One of them, as we talked about last time, is cracked, so I had to take this Torx T10 screwdriver and remove the originals. It's not too hard of a process. I had to go out and buy these, but they're pretty cheap. And yeah, I mean, these things come out really easily. They're just a plastic housing that goes over the metal piece underneath. And I did want to take a second to give a big shout out to arcadeshop.com. They were who I bought the replacement joysticks from, and if that one wasn't cracked, you know, I think it'd be hard to tell which is which. Obviously, the replacement joystick is on the right here. The original is on the left. The texture's slightly different, but I think it's a great representation of the original. There are some differences with it, but everything that's important is the same. All the hole sizes are the same. It's the same screws that are used on it. Again, it's really just that texture. It's more of a matte texture versus the glossy texture of the original. And then, so these actually do have these holes on the side, and that's kind of important because that's going to allow you to take that screw and go all the way through it, whereas on the original, if you over tightened it, it would crack. So really these are a little more structurally sound than the original, but they're really nice. I can tell you after using it for a little bit that it feels great. Really don't have any complaints with it. So yeah, let's see how it looks on the system, and just let me give y'all a couple more shots. You can just see how good this thing looks. I'm really happy with it. And yeah, once we get it installed, you all notice I kept the original on the right and I put the replacement on the left. I just wanted to keep at least one original. I did buy 2 replacements, but you know, if this one ever gets damaged, I have that extra one in storage. But yeah, I mean, it's really hard to tell which is which on here. If it wasn't for those added, you know, spots on the side, it'd be really hard to tell which is which. And I'm sure that as this thing gets used over time, that glossy, or the matte finish rather, is probably going to start to look glossy as, you know, it gets oil on it and everything. But yeah, really happy with this. Obviously, you know, it would have been better to find an original, you know, new old stock one, but for $35, it's really not a bad deal, and it gets the job done. If you were looking to buy in one of these, I would definitely recommend it. But I think now, let's take a look at the coin door. I had to do a lot of stuff with the coin door. The first thing that we had to do was get these old lights out. These had burnt out over time. You know, they're 50 years old or however old. But yeah, they just kind of slot in. They're apparently N44 lights. These are apparently pretty common in the arcade and pinball community. But replacements are super cheap. I got mine from a Little Shop of Games who sold them to me. They're really cheap. I think it was like $5 for 10 of them. The next thing I wanted to mess with was the lock. Obviously, I think I mentioned this in the last video, the coin door has to be shut for the game to actually turn on. So without a lock being in there, it's pretty hard to get it to stay closed, which is why I had those little, you know, foam pads on there so that it could be held closed. But yeah, it doesn't do too much without a lock. So that was something that needed to be replaced. And then obviously the lights as well. And then also there was the coin door, the coin return flap. So I ordered some replacement flaps from arcadeshop.com. They were not the right size. I should have done some better research. Don't get me wrong, they were great quality, but they did not fit for what I needed. But moving back to the lights, I did order red lights. Some people online say not to do that. They say that the red lights are too red. I don't know. I don't really agree with that. I mean, to me, it's going to show red through the plastic anyway. As you can see, these booted up, and they were bright. They were very, very, very red. And I'll show you all in a minute how they look actually in the coin return button. They look great. And then, of course, as I mentioned, the lock. I did order a couple different locks because I just wasn't quite sure which one I needed. Here's the original, and then here's the two new ones that I bought. One of them is a little bit longer than the other. Of course, you know, if we compare these to the original, the shorter one is what I actually needed. I don't really care to have the spare. You know, maybe one day I'll need it for something else. But yeah, once we got this installed, it was really easy. Just kind of put it on there. Yeah, the coin mech, I ended up just taking it out. It wasn't actually attached to anything in there. And this is interesting. We can see that this thing in its life has eaten 24,000 quarters. That's quite a bit of money. So clearly this thing got a lot of use back in the day. But yeah, we've got those lights installed. We've got the coin door lights installed, and also the key. So we still need to put that coin door flap back in, but we'll get that installed. And yeah, let's get this closed so we can see how these lights look. And look at that, guys. I think that looks amazing. They look nice and bright. Again, some people say don't put red on red. I think it looks really good. This lock keeps the doors shut, so it's not going to have any errors. And guys, whenever I recorded this, I kind of just paused here for a second. The machine actually wasn't turning on. So here's another little lesson learned. So as you can see, I'm in the test mode here. This was recorded like right after. The issue ended up kind of going away, but I was getting what was called a timeout error. So there was a little T on the screen right after I installed those lights. I think I must have jostled something in the back. The T was gone after this. But yeah, so there's a board in there called the math box, which apparently is pretty prone to failure. And as soon as I installed these, it just it started freaking out. But we ended up fixing it. I just disconnected the two boards and reconnected them and turned off test mode there. Just moving some stuff around, making sure that nothing gets closed on whenever I close the door. And right after that, it just booted right back up. So if you ever have that error, you know, maybe try just moving around the mother and daughter board connector. You know, disconnect it, reconnect it. It might boot it back up. It's hard to say. And then, of course, last but not least, here is that 3D printed coin flap that I was showing earlier. I had my roommate 3D print it. Shout out to him for that. Shout out William. It doesn't quite fit completely, but you know, you probably saw that at the start of the video. But I think it does a decent job. I also think these lights look really good. And yeah, guys, I mean, this really, here's that coin neck. Like I said, I took it out. I don't even know if the connectors to connect this thing in there are still there. I don't really have much interest in connecting it right now. The dip switch settings are on free play. But yeah, I mean, I think that this thing at this point looks really good. We've got that marquee light swapped out. We've got the LEDs or not the LEDs, but the lights for the coin return button. And then we've got that coin flap installed, plus the lock. The lock is probably the most important thing. I still need to fill in these holes somehow, but I'm not too worried about that right now. I mean, it looks monumentally better than it did whenever I brought it in the first time. So we'll take a look at it here in the dark too, and you can see in the dark, I mean, everything that needs to light up does. It's a great looking machine. And now at the request of a commenter on the last video, I'll show some gameplay. I can really only record this with one hand since I've got to hold the camera, but you should get the idea of what we're looking at here. And yeah, I want to thank you all for watching. You know, I wasn't really sure how technical to make this video. I more just wanted to show what I did and less of, you know, the specifics of everything. But yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed this. If you did, leave a like below. I was really impressed with the performance of the last video. So if you all want more arcade videos, let me know. I mean, I've got more arcade machines. So if you all want more videos, just leave a comment, and I will see you all next time. Represent.